Okay, so we're going to be starting our live Q&A in just a few moments. But as always, I do have to give you guys the waiver. Give me one moment. All right, let me just take that off real quick. Erin Morse will be joining us in just a few moments and just sharing out here and there. Marcos, can you go open the front door real quick? Awesome. Yeah, they're coming through the front door. Shy. But yeah, we'll be just starting momentarily, you guys.
I'm here.
And let me just adjust that. And that camera looks amazing.
Yeah, we got a new camera.
Whoop whoop.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, we have a new camera. Got it. Hi.
There we go. All right, there we go. So because we record in the same room and we're using two different computers, there's a certain procedure that I have to do every time so we don't bounce back or record. Exactly, that's the word. How you doing?
So good. How are you?
I'm super. I'm excited.
Me too. I know, the freaking weekend.
You have your drink.
I don't have anything.
You get to your White Claw, right?
Unfun. I'm a White Claw is acceptable.
You okay with the White Claw for now?
Yeah.
Get your White Claw. BRB.
Yeah.
White Claw
Stat.
Grapefruit or lime?
Lime. Does anybody really like the grapefruit?
There are some that I don't know why. I can't stand grapefruit.
I don't mind it. I'll drink it.
I've had bad experiences with grapefruit in my life.
Yeah.
Because I cut it up thinking it's an orange, and
Because it tastes not that good. Yeah.
well, no, yeah, because an orange is so much sweeter and so much better. And I don't know how many times I've gone to the store and grabbed, thinking I'm grabbing an orange, and I grabbed a grapefruit.
It's really big though. Like that's a mistake I don't really accept that you made. Like,
I'm human. I'm sorry. You get distracted with all the pretty colors of colors.
yeah. You're like, this looks like the most delicious large orange ever.
There are some pretty good oranges out
It's a grapefruit. Okay.
So right now we're entering the second phase of everything opening up. How's that been for you?
It's been good. I don't love going to restaurants during the coronavirus. When I'm seeing restaurant people working in restaurants, I shouldn't like they're not like not who they are, it's where they work. When I see people working in restaurants who have gloves on,
Yeah.
I'm disgusted because if you have gloves on, my next immediate assumption is that you're not washing your hands, which is worse. I think I said this last week, but I'm still mad.
You did say that last week, and I have paid so much more attention.
I want to confront them, and I don't, and I won't.
So right now, let's say we're at say Applebee's.
Okay.
And I'm bringing you your food.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's your I don't even know what cheeseburger.
Right.
And you see me with the gloves, and then I go somewhere else. Like I come back to your table. What are you gonna tell me?
In reality, I'm going to say nothing. But if we're in the world like the world where I just say anything I want and I have no consequences, or I wouldn't insult somebody who really probably has some good intentions, I probably would ask them. This is the interaction I would have with them, and you can respond. Imagine that you're wearing the gloves and you believe in this.
So I come back to you like, how's your meal?
Great, but how often are you changing your gloves?
Well, the gloves don't allow me to make contact with surfaces, so I'm
Right. That wasn't my question. How often do you change them?
I guess when I go on break. Yeah, we're not supposed to be using that many gloves throughout our shift, so.
Okay. Do you wash your gloves?
Why would you wash gloves?
Because you go fucking touch money and then you touch my fucking plate or my food. That's why you would wash the gloves. That's why you wash your hands.
We have hand sanitizer if that'll help you, man.
Do you hand sanitize your gloves? I'm talking about your clean hands. Mine are clean. I carry hand sanitizer and I ain't wearing gloves and I wash them. That's what I would love to say.
Oh man, I even then I don't even know what to say because
of course no, because they're not people being bad people. It just is not sensible and it isn't clean, right? So it also isn't sanitary. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with the coronavirus, where penny wise, pound stupid, right? Because what we end up doing is we think that we're being protective and wearing gloves, but instead it's actually less.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Really should be washing hands. Or
again, we become
pennywise pound stupid in the same way that people are wearing gloves, but then they so frequently pull
down. I'm like, you realize you are supposed to continue to have the barrier if you are intending to create one. It's like thinking that you have a dam, right? And
a water dam.
A water dam. Yeah, I don't have a dam. A water dam, and making sure that whatever's on the other side of that dam can't get wet. But every so often you take the dam down. Like, don't you realize that the water's coming through?
That's a good analogy.
Like if you think that you're creating a barrier, but you pull it down often. First of all, this is two ways a problem. The point of you having this mask is to stop you from touching your mouth, right? That mask really only protects you from sending it out.
Okay.
So, because unless it's an N95, it doesn't stop you from getting it in from other people.
And there are different types of gloves, different types of masks.
Right. So the masks that we're all wearing are not N95. I see very few people wearing them. So you are only stopping yourself from spreading it outward for droplet purposes. When you pull it down, you are touching your face. So if you have the coronavirus on your hand and then you touch your face, you are spreading those germs. And then if you have coronavirus and you're other people from catching you, which is why a lot of nurses and doctors were wearing these masks everywhere because they knew they were potentially exposed and they didn't want to spread it, protecting other people, which is absolutely the fair and reasonable way to handle it, I think.
We're having an issue with your mic. It's got a text message.
Did you?
Yeah. Let me check this
A
room.
lot of talking.
Yeah. Let's see. So audio. Internal.
Oh, do you have a question?
Okay, that's why.
All right, give us some feedback. Did this work?
The setting on the thing itself was not working. There we go.
Sorry.
My apologies on that one. Okay, so hopefully it does. And you said you got a question, right?
I think so on the texting service.
It's not pulling up on mine. You see it on yours?
Texting. Do you have your
Oh, on the Zipwit?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Our texting service.
Oh, okay.
I get those to my watch, by the way, people.
Let's pull it up right now. Oh, for some odd reason, I'm logged out. So if you're able to read it, you want to go and read that
Let
one?
me try. Hold on. I guess we're gonna get right into it. We're ready. We're ready.
Yep, people are saying, yep, sounds much better.
Awesome.
Someone says yes. Awesome. Thank you, Allie. Appreciate it.
Can you pull up the texting service question that we just got? Yeah.
We have a texting service.
All right. It's really, really there. I get it. It's going to come to this watch. I will see it.
We promise we have a texting service.
It's the main number and it goes to my watch. Again, if you're pulling down the mask,
Mhm.
your intention is to prevent, right?
Yeah.
That you don't touch your face, but you're touching it, right? If you imagine that the coronavirus were like paint, right? And you don't want to get paint everywhere. So here's your other good analogy behind wearing the gloves and it not being sanitary. If you imagine that the coronavirus is paint on your hands, and then so your hands are now, even though you're wearing gloves,
Latex.
are covered. They're covered in paint. If you were to go touch your phone and then touch the desk and then touch yourself
Mhm.
and then touch a plate, wouldn't all those places have paint?
Cross-contamination right there.
So that's how you should think of your cross-contamination, which is why you are better to wash your hands, because you're not washing your gloves. But when your hands are exposed, you will be more inclined to make sure you're using your hand sanitizer
Mhm.
and you're washing your gloves.
Who would like it?
I will take it. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, so first question
Yes.
came in.
Let's get to it.
When they come through our texting service, they remain confidential. I don't have a way to know your name. It's a phone number. You could create a fake phone number, right?
Mhm.
So here's the question. At what point would so many years go by with no contact of support from the legal spouse, refusal to sign the divorce papers for courts to grant divorce? Osceola County with 2 minor children. 20 days, really.
That's all it takes.
If we were to file a case,
Mhm.
have them served, and they didn't respond in 20 days, we can move forward with the divorce and get you divorced. In the alternative, if you can't find them, there is an affidavit, and we have to do a certain level of search and prove that up. And we've done this before, that we can't find them and they've been missing and I don't know how to find them and we tried. So once you do that, you don't really need to be divorced. We need to put them on notice as best as we can, but if we can't find them, we still can manage to get you divorced. So you don't have to wait years. You don't have to wait months. But you have to take the steps to file the case and ask the court for the relief, right? If we follow the law and ask the court for the relief, you can get divorced, including with children. we have to show that we've made a certain level of effort to find this person, and then we divorce you by publication.
Beautiful.
So we got you. We can get this done. You don't have to wait anymore, but it can't get done if you don't start.
Yeah, you got to make that first step.
So we got you. Thank you for sending in your question. I'm happy you asked.
All right, let's go to the one that we have from earlier today, going up on the screen. If I left the state to retreat from my husband, where do I submit for a divorce? Sandra Bullock. Julia Roberts.
Oh, Runaway Bride. If you don't have children, you should you can file where you live. You're probably better off filing where he lives. So if you left and you don't have children, you can do that. That's fine. No one cares. No one's worried about it. If you left with the children, we may have some other things to be hurdling over. If you have an analysis or concern over domestic violence, of course we're going to tell the court that, and we'll handle and come over that hurdle. But there's no law that says you can't move with children while you're divorced away from your husband, right? There's a law that says you can't kidnap them and hide them. But when there's domestic violence, that is something that the court will take into consideration. So file where he lives to not have the hurdle of personal jurisdiction. If you file where you live, again, I don't know what state you're in or what their laws look like, but if the reverse were true and you left your husband to come here, we could file here and serve him and see if he accepts jurisdiction, if he answers. If he contests it, there's a very high likelihood of him being successful on contesting that to bring it to where he lives and where the marriage was last intact.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the question. The next one coming up. Who determines how assets are divided in a divorce?
I mean, the judge. But if you guys agree, you do, my friend. If the two of you can come to an agreement on what you want it to look like, right? Even if it's unfair or unequal or it isn't perfect from another person's perspective, you have a good reason for wanting your equitable distribution to look like it does, right? Where he gets, the dogs, but you get the multi-million-dollar business because you're the brilliant business person, right? That you guys get to decide. And maybe he finds that the dogs are so much more valuable that he's willing to give up other things to have the dogs. And even if in equitable distribution, we would assign a dollar figure to, mutts, which were rescued and we don't know what they are, right? Those are you can't give those away. But you love them and they're your babies. So to you, they are worth, $5 million because they can't be replaced. So you get to decide if you can somehow come to an agreement in mediation or in another way to have settlement.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for the question. Next one coming up. I have 2 children and I had custody. Their mother refused to pay me child support because I make a very good salary. She says I don't need her money. Shouldn't she pay something?
Yes.
Fair and simple, right?
Yeah. Child support is the right of a child to receive. So even if she's like, you make enough money, like I don't need to support the kids, that's fucking bullshit, right? That's not true. And the court actually analyzes child support as the right of the child to receive. And if you already have a court order, hold that bitch in contempt.
Thank you so much for the question. All right, let's jump to the next one. How is the child's best interest defined?
With a very lengthy description. The statute on the best interest of the minor child is 61.133 A through T. So there are A through T number of factors, and the very last one is quite literally anything else that would do justice between the parties or that is in the best interest, so anything and everything. But the first factor that appears in that statute, and I'm going to get on my soapbox, right?
Yeah, do it.
Step right up. Is how well which parent does a better job at facilitating a shared parent relationship with the other parent. Okay. Now there is case law, and there's a lot of understanding that the order of those factors do not mean that one is more important than the other, but our legislature put that together. And the fact that the concept of being a good shared parent appears first when analyzing what the best interest of a minor child in considering the development of a parenting plan is there, I personally don't think is by mistake. So the first thing you should do, how you should interpret what I'm telling you is, I need to do the best job I can to be a good shared parent, to make sure that I facilitate and encourage a relationship with the other parent. So there is a very long line of psychological, sociological studies on the benefit of children having a strong relationship with both parents and being insulated from the conflict of the parents related to them, because children internalize and blame themselves, and that surfaces very negatively in their psychological well-being. So be a good shared parent, because psychologically it's the right thing and the law told you to do so.
Thank you so much for the question. Ooh, this one's a fun one. In your honest opinion, what is the best lawyer film?
Ooh, well, for reasons, Legally Blonde. No, I like that movie, and it's funny because being a blonde and in the law, and I'm also very girly and feminine, and I don't care. I don't think that I literally wore a pink sweatshirt. I had this made for taking the Florida bar. I had a pink sweatshirt made that said, "What? Like it's hard." So again, I feel like that, right? So I could relate on that front, but I didn't chase no man to law school, right?
Boom.
This was, I became the lawyer my mother wanted me to marry when I grow up. So I resonate with that as a concept, not that some man is my reasoning, that I need to be the one, right? I need to be what it should be, because I'm good enough. I will lead my family into the success. I can lead people. I'm good at this. I'm smart enough, and by golly, people like me. But that so I like that. I thought the Lincoln Lawyer was really interesting.
Yeah, McConaughey.
There's a one with Paul Newman, an old one that I think this one is the best one. It is
With Paul Newman.
It's an old one.
I'm pulling up the IMDb.
All right. And I that one was really inspiring to watch. I really liked that. I watched it both before when I was in undergrad school.
Okay.
And after I became a lawyer. Yes. I really liked that
Damn,
one.
that was before my time.
Yeah. So that one was really good. And
I'm trying to think right now.
Paul Newman is
I don't know if this would be
alive.
considered a lawyer film, but Sleepers.
Sleepers?
That
sounds like a zombie apocalypse.
It was with oh my God, Brad Pitt, not Richard Dreyfuss. Oh my God.
Gear?
No, not Richard Gere. He was Fokker's father.
I love him, De Niro.
No, not De Niro. Not De Niro. That's Fokker's father-in-law. But like, oh shoot, this is gonna. Why did I do this to myself? Damn it! I have to look it up now. I'm so sorry. I have to.
Well, tell us when you figure it out. You wanna circle back?
Yeah, let's
put a pin in it.
Let's get the next question coming up right now. Thank you so much for that one.
That was a good one.
And boom, the next one is: I recently found out that my wife has been having an affair while I've been on tour overseas. Where do I begin if I want to file a divorce?
Call me, maybe. We walk you through the whole process of filing for divorce. If you want us to handle it, you give us a call, have a consult with me, and we will that's for you. We spoon feed the process to you and handle it on your behalf, right? We give you the forms and we turn them into the legally, I've created a very thorough process to make it simple for my clients to be able to walk through it. Forms that you fill out, you just have to answer the questions as they come up. You don't have to do a lot of interpreting and things like that. I ask you the questions and then I make sure to place it in the way that the court wants to receive the information so it's legally sufficient. It's worth mentioning that if you want to do this on your own, you have a variety of ways to do that. If you feel like you're capable and you guys have full agreement on everything and you want to hand the paperwork, I don't discourage people from doing that. I don't feel at all like that process takes away from what I do in my business. What I do is I simplify and make the process easy for you, right? Naturally, I do it at a cost, but I do it so that you don't have to, so that you get to compartmentalize how emotionally taxing this is, because that's the other part of the service that we offer, is that this is stressful and it isn't easy. I don't care how good of a divorce and much of an agreement you have, and making sure that you hit all of the things that the law wants and exactly what a judge wants and push it through the process. That's also kind of stressful, right? It isn't impossible. You can do it. I'm not here to tell you that you can't. I'm here to tell you that if you want a service to do it, you want to make sure we follow the law, that's where I come in. Or if you have more complex issues or you need someone to be arguing on your behalf, I love arguing, okay? But you can do it. So if you go to the Florida, there's a Florida, if you really just have to Google it, there's nothing complex to remember. Florida Supreme Court Family Law Forms. If you Google that, you will come up with all the forms that the Supreme Court of Florida has put forth for family law so that you can get through this process. And you can create an e-filing portal login for yourself, and you can electronically file all of this as a pro se litigant. You don't have to be an attorney for this. And you can do it all electronically. There are ways for you to get electronic notary services, right? If you Google that, you'll be able to get all your documents notarized electronically. Those forms are downloadable into a Word format. You can make sure that you have sufficient room and ability to put in and say exactly what you want to say on them. You have the right to this. You have the right to your access to courts. Additionally, you could go to a courthouse. Every courthouse that I have ever worked in has a self-help for self-represented filers. And the cost will be really for the paper for you to do this. And you'll be able to get the whole divorce packet from really start to finish. And you can file and do it all there, and they'll talk you through how to make sure that you get someone served, right? You'll have to request your summons, all of those things once you file them. And if you need help, again, there's still that self-represented filer. And in many courthouses, and specifically the Orange County Courthouse, there is a way where you can pay to speak with the staff attorney. Now, they can't ever become your attorney, right? Even if you speak to them and you want them to represent you, they can't do it because they work at the courthouse, but you pay a fee and they will talk to you and give you some legal advice, right? Now, so you can do this. You're smart enough to do this. You're capable of doing this.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for the question. We wish you luck on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. I think this one will be quick. How can I use the best interest standard for my child's name change?
You can. You need a good reason, but you don't need to go through the best interest factors. That's for creating a parenting plan.
Okay.
Why? If it's in the best interest for your child to change his name because when you had your child, you gave them the last name.
Fokker.
Fokker, because you thought it was cute and funny, and that's no one's last name, and now you want to change it, you can, right? So if you have a good reason for changing them, or the child's father's parental rights were terminated for some reason, that's a good reason to change the child's last name. Or you want to change the child's last name because they were adopted into a family, and it's that reason that you want to change their last name. You just give a good reason. That paperwork is also available online if you think you can handle it. My area of expertise, or why you hire me, is because your issues are more complex than that. or because getting through all that paperwork and making sure you followed the law and that you're pushing the court along to get things done, that's my expertise, right? I'm not as useful for, a very simple divorce if you are an incredibly, savvy person that can handle this paperwork. I do even handle uncontested divorces. We charge a flat fee for it. And we literally, one person came to me today. I'm going to do a flat fee for their uncontested divorce because she and her spouse agree on everything. And her appointment for that settlement conference is next Wednesday. And all of her paperwork is going to be done in one day.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's a service that you want, even when you're uncontested, that's where I come in. That's where I become just it becomes valuable to utilize my services, because then I e-file it. You leave with copies of all of your paperwork. We have notaries here and we get it done, including the documents that I sent off to the judge to request a final judgment, right? So that we get behind you.
And there are many times that we will get a client that they have a hearing the day after tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And we're able to get it out of we're able to get everything out the door and them up to date to move forward with their cases.
Yeah, we've helped people, and we also, again, we flat fee our services. We've recently rolled that out, and it's helpful for people. It isn't uncommon for us to be hired for, just the mediation, right? They want to, and maybe their mediation is scheduled and they're concerned or fearful about having to be confronting their spouse, soon to be ex-spouse,
Mm-hmm.
or significant other. If it's a paternity action, usually you're not still in a relationship when you're doing it, but it could happen. And that they got an attorney and you're concerned that they're going to bully you, or that it might not go well, or you're fearful of if you're making the right decision. Remember, you can make any decision you want, or you feel pressured by your ex. That's where we become valuable. So we will allow someone to flat fee for the exclusive purpose of going to mediation. And then at the end of mediation, whatever happened in mediation, an agreement or a non-agreement, you and I can sit down and have a conversation. What's the next step? What's the cost? What can I expect? What are my options? And do you have the capability or money to hire me? Do you want to? Or do you think that you should just take it to trial and not have an attorney for trial, right? So we try to make sure that we are accessible to even people who maybe can't afford the full option of representation. And I understand that. I have very humble beginnings. I don't judge it. I respect it. I offer payment plans because I feel like access only to someone who has, the ability to come up with the sum of money that maybe they don't have. I don't stand for that. I'm not here for it, which is why it's always, I'm going to always offer. I think it's important, and we try really hard to make sure that justice is accessible, right? Because sometimes if you're doing it on your own or you have a certain set of circumstances, it's hard to move it through, right? The judges don't get on the phone and talk to you. Nobody tells you how to make sure it gets done. They don't look at their dockets. They have too many cases. This isn't a judgment. It's when you have 4,000 to 5,000 cases, how can you read every time someone files a motion? That wouldn't be sensible.
No, it wouldn't.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
We got a few questions, and then we actually have some stories we're going to go over towards the end. But let's jump into this one. And I was laughing when I read.
Laughing?
I was laughing when I read this one. And there you go. Go ahead and read that one, Erin.
My husband and I are currently co-owners of a fudge packing company. How would all of our fudge packing equipment be divided if we divorce? We bought a lot during the marriage. Okay, so you have a couple of options here. If the two of you know, I'm sorry, I'm like, my hair is sticky because it was raining. If you have equipment from a business, you have a couple of options. If you list all the equipment and you agree on the values, right? Again, this is a mediation analysis that I'm going through. You can agree to split it however you want, and you can agree on the values if you know how much they're valued at. But if you don't agree, you could have and we have to take it to court, right? We would get a business evaluator, and that business evaluator would evaluate the value of the business itself, and all of the equipment. So all of those things would end up being line items in our business evaluation. So then you would then know if both of you at the conclusion of your divorce, you want the value of the business and the assets in the business divided. You can't get anything, side note, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking a sidetrack. Side note, you can't get anything that you don't ask the court for. Anyway, that you want the equipment to be split, that you tell the court that and how you would propose it to be split. This is where the hard lawyer work comes in, right? And we put this together so that we can tell the judge what we want and how we want it split and what the values are, and we'll have that competent, substantial evidence of what the value is. But alternatively, if the two of you agree on what the value of the assets and the value of the business are, you can do that. So this is where you could have a partial agreement. You could have a partial agreement as to the value of the business and the assets, but no agreement as to how it should be divided. Okay? So you don't need a business evaluator if you agree on the value. And then you both of you present sides, and then you ask the judge to make an equitable division of them, and ask that the judge make an equitable division, not necessarily dividing them financially, but by actually making an equitable decision based on what equipment should go where, right? To whom all this equipment should go in conjunction with all of your other assets and liabilities, right? So all of these things, this is how it's going to be. The court is going to balance equitable distribution when you have a business with a lot of assets. So, he'll get the taffy machine and you get the milk butter machine, right? I don't know exactly what you guys might have, but you would have to come to me with that information. And those are your options, right? So full agreement, partial agreement, business evaluator, go all the way to trial, and the court will figure it out. If it is your intention that one person, that each of you are going to sprout up a new, actually have a client, side note, squirrel. I actually have a client who had a chocolate business with her husband. I really did.
Oh.
And it was the most delicious chocolate. We did her divorce. I was able to, even though her husband was a fairly obstinate fellow, fairly obstinate fudge maker, I was able to negotiate with him because, you don't scare me, right? You don't scare me. I'm like, he can't bully me. I'm like, I don't care what he thinks. Like, it's fine. It's fine. She was anxious, and we were really able. She really was the brains of the operation. I want to throw that one out there. She was the brilliant business mind. I absolutely love her. So we were able to negotiate that with them, and as a gift, when I finished up her divorce, she brought me this box of chocolates, and they were so delicious. And let me be clear, I don't like chocolate.
Really?
I don't.
Oh.
I like vanilla or caramel.
But not chocolate.
No, I don't really like chocolate flavor.
I love chocolate.
So, but if you wanted, say if one person was the chocolatier in your fudge packing company, and the other spouse didn't really want the chocolate business, we would assign all of those things a value. It could come up in a business evaluation, and then it would be an analysis as to the other aspects of your divorce and your assets and liabilities as to where those things should go, and if a dollar figure needs to pass from one hand to another.
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. I'll let you catch your breath on that one.
I feel like Ace Ventura when he's like,
all right, the next one. Here we go. My ex has moved. Moved his girlfriend into his house. I don't want our kids anywhere near her.
Why?
She's the reason we broke up. Can I stop him from having the kids there if she is there?
No.
All right, very simple. No.
No. If you were to have a new significant other, he couldn't stop you. So it goes both ways. And a new girlfriend may not be the worst thing ever. You're not entitled to meet her. You're not entitled to tell him what to do. You're not in a relationship anymore. And honestly, you don't want to, right? So I mean, teach your children right and wrong. Don't bash her, because that doesn't help your children, right? Don't teach your children to hate somebody that they don't know. Don't impose your, again, this would be an example of imposing your conflicts with the other parent on the children. So chill the fuck out. Okay. Really. Like, I understand, but unless you know that she's a child abuser, a major criminal, a major drug addict, and if that's the case, call DCF, right? And if you know that there's actual harm going on and you have some good evidence of it, do something about it. I don't know, let it ride, let it buff out, right? And him having a new girlfriend means he's just not going to bother you as much. So
I mean, y'all split up for a reason, so
let it go. Like, it's okay. Let them go. Let their relationship flourish. If he's happy and she's nice, another nice person loving your children is so good for them. And if he isn't that great of a dad, but she's an excellent stepmom and she does more for the kids, cooking, cleaning, helping, whatever, I don't know, be her friend. That's the real gem, right? If you become the friend of the new girlfriend, first of all, it'll stick in the craw of your ex, but who cares? So you'll accomplish your goal of, I don't know, fanning your conflict with them. But if you can, try to find a way to, be friendly with them. Like, that's the ideal. I'm not saying you have to. You don't have to. If you don't like them, let them, go play in their own sandbox. But if you could be her friend, and that's how you make sure that your parenting radiates into that home, right? See?
Boom.
Chess, not checkers.
Thank you so much for the question. We're down to our last two. My husband keeps saying that he will kill himself if I file for divorce. Would I be held liable if he does?
No.
Beautiful.
No. And if someone is using the threat of suicide against you, that's manipulative, okay? And don't let that person continue to manipulate you, because you don't do it. If you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, you do not have to be in a relationship with somebody. They don't get to tell you can't leave or I'll kill myself. That isn't fair to you. That's abusive. It's toxic, it's controlling, and it's dangerous. And if that's how someone acts, do not let it control you. Do not let them control you. And make sure that you get away from that level of toxicity. It's not fair. It really isn't. That really is someone manipulating you. Whether or not it's true, when someone says that, call the police and have them Baker acted. Okay, and you file for divorce if it's a divorce that you want. So I'm gonna
get in your soapbox
today. What really grinds my gears? What really grinds my gears is that level, that style of manipulating somebody. That, if you don't continue to stay in a relationship with me, I'll hurt myself or someone else or you, so you'll stay here. That's controlling. That is projected on you to manipulate you, to make you to do something. And it's harmful. It's an example of psychological abuse and emotional abuse, and you don't deserve it. So don't let them do that. Like, I have a saying around here, and it may have come up before in these videos. It comes up a lot. That I don't like when people, really what I don't like is I don't like people making an attempt to manipulate me and cause me to act based on what they believe. But the way that it comes out, because it's funnier when I'm like, manipulating me hurts my feelings. No one laughs about that, but that's really what happens, right? It hurts my feelings when people view me or see me as the kind of person that could be manipulated, or that they're capable of manipulating me. It really is very insulting to me that they think that I don't think for myself, or that I don't make logical decisions, or that they're in a position of power over me. That I don't think that's fair. I don't want to be manipulated like that, and I won't stand for it. But the way it comes out in day-to-day conversation, as I go, don't tell me what to do. Okay? So I want to, make light of a very tense situation. If he says that to you, what you really need to think is, don't tell me what to do, right? And when you tell someone that you don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore, or you want to file for divorce, or you're struggling with some type of situation, they can't tell you that you have to be in a relationship with them. Okay? That's no. Like, when someone goes, I think I want to divorce, the conversation should be, oh my gosh, why? What can I do? Could we talk about it? They don't get to tell you not to feel that way. They don't get to use their own feelings as a way to hold you hostage. And nobody is entitled to the opportunity to tell you that you must stay in a relationship that is toxic to you, that you don't like, where you're not happy. And the law doesn't support that. So there you go. There's your little psychological analysis as to why, and then your legal analysis to why the law doesn't allow it.
We're going to substitute the one that we got from the Texas service for the one that we just got on Facebook.
I'll answer both if we want.
A notice of compliance of court was submitted to the court with false information. He was ordered to pay legal fees, stating, I never cashed a check to date. However, the check was cashed on April. Can he get in trouble?
A notice of compliance with a court order was submitted to the court with false info. Stating, I never cashed a check to date. However, the check was cashed in April. Can he get in trouble? Yeah. Bring your proof.
Bring the proof.
Right. So here it says, Catherine is telling us that someone said that they complied with a court order and it was false info because he was ordered to pay legal fees. And he said, I don't understand how he can say he's in compliance and you never cashed a check to date. I just skipped words. I don't know. However, the check was cashed in April. Can he get in trouble? I would file with the court your proof that the check was cashed, right? The bank account statement. You can redact things from the bank account statement. Make sure you have the check image if it's possible. And I file a motion. I would prefer to have the opportunity to see the judgment and the notice of compliance so that I could, and your evidence, so that we can flesh out exactly what should be filed, maybe a motion for contempt, maybe, whatever kind of non-compliance requests that we need to make. But yes, he could get in trouble.
Okay.
And you should seek additional attorney's fees for it.
Thank you so much for the question, Catherine. We got the last one coming in. My ex is going to serve me for paternity soon, and I just want to have my court case done in Broward County. I haven't been served yet. Could I move to Broward County? Also, can I move if I do get served?
So I don't know where you are currently right now. The answer to your question is yes, you can move to Broward County. If you don't live there and he doesn't live there, there's no reason that Broward County or a motion for change of venue would be successful. But if you live there, you can do a motion for change of venue. So counties are just venues. The circuit court is where paternity, right? So the circuit court is the circuit court for the state of Florida. So jurisdiction, and this is kind of what this is, right? This is like a law school question, like what are they asking? Jurisdiction is three main points that you should remember. There is personal jurisdiction, that is over the person. There is subject matter jurisdiction, so that means that there's a law that exists in that subject. And there is, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. And then there's venue. So the state, where a person lives, the state would have jurisdiction over a person. The subject matter jurisdiction is what laws of the state apply and where those type of cases are heard. So sometimes it doesn't make sense why certain things are county court or administrative or whatever. Really what it comes down to is there's a law said that these cases belong in circuit court, okay? So in Florida, divorces and paternity actions belong in circuit court. So, but a person who lives in the state of Florida and who has a paternity case or a divorce case arising out of the state of Florida,
Mhm.
that means that there's jurisdiction. And because the statutes, right, 61 and 742, say that these are circuit court cases, they go in the circuit court. What location, and typically we identify these venues, you know, socially, colloquially, as by exclusively their county, right? Seminole, Orange, Broward, you know, there's 57 in Florida, 57 counties.
You would know more than I would on that one. I thought it was 56. We'll get research on that.
If you know, comment. I don't know. That's your venue. So that's just which courthouse is the place that you walk to, right? And then you're assigned to a judge and you're given a case number, right? And there's more to it. So you can change venue if you have cause under the venue statute. So what you're asking is if you can change the venue. If it's not, you can file in a venue that neither of you live in if both of you agree to do it. But if you both don't agree, you can file a motion for change of venue, and it's based on, you know, where the venue is most proper under the statute, where you live, where the incident happened, or where all of the witnesses, et cetera, and
67.
67.
67.
I don't
Wow,
know.
everyone's answering. Yeah, 67 in counties in Florida.
Oh, well, you know, it's a good thing I don't do county law.
Yeah.
So there's only 5 counties. So that's what your question is. So your answer is, oh, I don't have the sign. I'll get it.
Oh, boom. Hold on. I got it.
You do?
Boom. It depends.
That was uneventful. That if you live in Broward, yes, you could move it there. If it's originally filed in Broward, yes, it can stay there if both of you agree. If he lives in Broward, yes, it could be there. If no one lives there and there's no reason and it wasn't filed there, no, you can't move it there for preference, right? That's forum shopping, and the answer is no. But if you're moving to Broward and he hasn't served you, yeah, we can help you work through that intricacy. So yeah, but and the other question, sorry, I'm like, there's more. Why is there more? The other question was, can you move? After you've been served, you can't move more than 50 miles away without asking the court for permission. And that has a very specific format to follow, right? That statute is so particular that I don't recommend doing it without an attorney, but you can. And that after you're served, no, you can't move more than 50 miles, but less than 50 miles, yes. And in some instances, you can move from Orange County to Polk County and be under 50 miles. So 50 miles is as the crow flies. If you took a piece of string and I held it here, wherever you're moving from, and that string was unrolled all the way to wherever it is you're moving, that's how it is. You'll just have to Google some kind of resource to get you as the crow flies miles, not driving miles. So shit.
It is. Now, those are it for the questions. Thank you so much for everyone who sent in their questions today. I have 2 possible 3 quick stories I want to share with you before we leave tonight. But I do want to bring in a new segment called Erin Reacts. Okay? So this is where I show Erin. I honestly, guys, this was one of the funniest videos I saw this week. In light of everything that's going on in the world, sometimes we just need to laugh. And I know during this hard situation, laughter really isn't like the proper thing. But once in a while, if you're not laughing,
it's the best medicine.
It really is. Are you ready to react to something?
Yeah.
All right. Let me put this up on the screen. And I don't know if you've seen this, but earlier this week, someone put 22 huge teddy bears on a roller coaster and just filmed it.
Why? There's so much that we need to do in the world. Why are you wasting our time? this is cute. This is something I probably would show my son, and I think he would find it adorable.
Oh no, I would love to be on the ride with the bears.
That would be cute.
Yeah.
I think it would be cute. I think it would be a really cute thing for what is the Make-A-Wish Foundation for children who are ill and maybe who are immunocompromised.
Yeah.
So they don't have to feel so alone on a
roller coaster.
On a roller coaster. Like, how cute would that be?
That would be cute.
Right?
The video, so I'm just gonna stop the video right now. Let me.
This is why he has me react to things. I'm like, you know what? Crazy. Oh.
So always in Florida is always known for getting some crazy stories out. You know, Florida man does this, crazy shit happens here or there. But something cool happened in Florida earlier this week, and I want to see how you react to this one. All right. Seniors graduating from Florida high school rode jet skis as their principal handed off diplomas from a belt during the ceremony.
No, I feel cheated. I want to do that. I want to ride a jet ski to get my diploma. You know, in those diploma things, I graduated high school. I know, shocking. And it's not really your diploma. It's just a fake piece of paper.
Yeah.
In all of the graduations I had. The ceremony never has the real diploma. It gets mailed to you later.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they should have used something. See, they should have used something representative of their diploma that related to them being on the jet ski, right?
Yep.
A fish. I think sunblock would have been cool. Yeah, I think it would have been interesting. But that was really cool. And, you know, Florida always does crazy things that are negative. That was a crazy thing that was super cool. And I'm pretty sure anyone would have loved to do that. Because who wouldn't want to ride a jet ski?
I haven't rode a jet ski yet. And I
Never? And you live in Florida?
I'm a city boy. I haven't been on a jet ski. I'll get to it eventually.
Oh, they're so much fun. And the point is, at least once you have to throw yourself off of it. You didn't ride a jet ski. If you didn't throw yourself off of it, they are really fun. And I am envious. I think that every graduation in Florida should be by jet ski.
I lost this one. So we're down to our last story. Let me pull this one up.
Who rides a bike, Kyle? It's random.
Where'd it go? Okay, so this guy's back in the news, and is Carole Baskin inheriting a haunted Indian burial ground with Tiger King Zoo? So earlier this week, a judge finally gave Carole Baskin the
Native American,
the GW Zoo over from Joe.
She got it.
She got it. She got the zoo.
Is it? So here's my first reaction, right?
Okay.
I want to know legally how she was able to do it. Like, did she get a lien against his zoo and collect on that lien? Like, did she foreclose on the lien? Also, we all watched this documentary, and see, this is where being a lawyer is dangerous. Because I'm like, legally, I don't know. And I thought that other guy who dressed like he was an 18-year-old that no one liked, like the version of an 18-year-old that no one likes.
Oh, Jeff Lowe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he bought it.
He was running the property, but according to the judge's ruling, the property now belongs to Carole. So I guess.
But it was still been owned by J.E.
Probably.
Right. It must have still been owned by him because she couldn't get it unless she also filed a suit and added him to the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we need more.
We need more on that one.
It depends.
But according to Jeff Lowe, and according to the last words from Joe's
He's
mother,
trustworthy.
the property itself is on a Native American burial ground. So she's going to be getting a haunted zoo.
That's crazy. So it being on a Native American burial ground, Native American, not Indian. I wonder if there is something that Native Americans could do to reclaim their land. Not my area of law naturally. And I think they have a very important body of laws, Native Americans. And could they reclaim it?
It's a possibility,
Right?
right?
I suppose if they could reclaim land, we're all in trouble. This is really all their land.
But no, Attorney Morse, thank you so much for your time, your information,
Thank
and
you.
spreading your knowledge to us. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.
All right. Keep those questions coming. The comments and the private chat is still blowing up.
Yes.
I love it.
Wow, yeah.
If you guys have any more questions, be sure to keep them coming. We will answer them. I will get them right to my watch. If you know me personally, you can just text me. Again, I have my watch, so I can quickly read a text message. And again, we can continue to maintain social distancing and virtually help our clients and get them started. We can, continue to move your case forward. Judges, as a reminder, some of them are willing to do Zoom hearings, some of them are not. I recently started going back to the courthouse. I had my first local in-person hearing this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
And of course, they're still practicing the social distancing in the courtroom, right? It depends.
It depends, right? I mean, I don't know that this is completely clear to everyone, myself included. If you're wearing a mask, do you need to social distance?
I would think so.
Okay, well, how do I maintain confidentiality with my client?
We talked about this last time.
I'm shorter than 6 feet tall, right? So it is more than my body length to my client, and I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah.
How can I maintain confidentiality?
It's difficult. It'll be extremely hard.
I just breach the social distancing. I do. I'm like, I wouldn't risk the confidentiality. I have to communicate with them. I need it to be confidential. That is more important to me. Again, I will wash my hands and not wear gloves.
Well, once again, everyone, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your questions, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.